Hello, hello. So sex transmutation. So we learn about how highly sex men are the most efficient salesmen. This is really funny one, Isn't it? Highly sex men are the best salesmen. This energy may be communicated to others through the following media, which is the handshake. The touch of the hand indicates instantly the presence of magnetism or the lack of it. Usually, when we handshake with someone, we can basically feel they're energetic or not. Sometimes I feel like not the best when we handshake with someone. Sometimes I feel amazing, right? Because it's a magnetism. That's magnetism. That's what actually magnetism is. And obviously, the most obvious one is going to be enthusiastic. When someone is really enthusiastic, we can actually see that. But yeah. Also, we have tone of voice. Can you have a tone of voice? Magnetism or psychic energy is the factor with which the voice may be colored or made musical and charming. Interesting. Also, have a posture and carriage of the body. Highly sex people move briskly and with grace and ease. That's really good to know. So they have like a self-confidence. That's how can you choose this a boyfriend if he's carrying himself briskly, then you know he's highly sexed, I guess. Well, you check, you let me know. Alrighty, so let's go to the next page. So if you want evidence that most men do not begin to do their best work before the age of 40, study the records of the most successful men known to the American people. And you will find it. Henry Ford had not hit the pace of achievement until he had passed the age of 40. So basically, age of 40 is kind of age where you kind of start getting, where you kind of get like that crazy success. One of the reasons I would say would be, that you accumulate so much knowledge that you have so much knowledge. So basically, that's when you kind of get all the puzzles in, and you can kind of build what you wanted. Right. Past age of 40. I'm gonna mark that. Andrew Carnegie was well past 40 before he began to reap the reward of his efforts. James G. Hill was still running a telegraph key at the age of 40. His stupendous achievements took place after that age. Let's see, what does stupendous mean? Stupendous or miracle or wonderful. 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 Let's go back to it. Okay. For the age of 40, his stupendous or wonderful achievements took place after that age. Biographies of American industrialists and financiers are filled with evidence that the period from 40 to 60 is the most productive age of man. This is no surprise because you just get experience by that age. You get enough. Period from 40 to 60 is the most productive age of man. between the age of 30 and 40, man begins to learn, if he ever learns. The art of sex transmutation. This discovery is generally accidental, and more often than otherwise, the man who makes it is totally unconscious of his discovery. Also, this thing, sex transmutation, is generally accidental. More often than otherwise, the man who makes it is totally unconscious of his discovery. He may observe that his powers of achievement have increased around the age of 35 to 40. 35 to 40, but in most cases he's not familiar with the cause of this change. Then that nature begins to harmonize the emotions of love and sex in the individual or the person between the age of 30 and 40, so that he may draw upon these great forces and apply them jointly as stimuli to action. So we're going to review that. So he may observe that his powers of achievement have increased around the age of 35 to 40, but in most cases he's not familiar with the cause of this change. The nature begins to harmonize the emotions of love and sex in the individual, the person, between the ages of 30 and 40, so that he may draw upon these great forces and apply them jointly as stimuli to action. Sex alone is a mighty urge to action, but its forces are like a cyclone. They are often uncontrollable. When the emotions of love begins to mix itself with the emotion of sex, the result is calmness of purpose, poise, accuracy of judgment, and balance. What person who has attained to the age of 40 is so unfortunate as to be able to analyze these statements and to corroborate them by his own experience. So what person who has attained to the age of 40 is so unfortunate as to be unable to analyze these statements? When driven by his desire to please a woman, based solely or just upon the emotions of sex, a man may be and usually is capable of great achievements. But his actions may be disorganized, distorted, and totally destructive. When driven by his desire to please a woman, based upon the motive of sex alone, a man may still cheat and even commit murder. That's kind of tragic. So when driven by his desire to please a woman, based upon the motive of sex alone, a man may still cheat and even commit murder. But when the emotions of love is mixed with the emotion of sex, that same man will guide his actions with more sanity, balance, and reason. Emotion of sex. That same man will guide his actions with more sanity, balance, and reason. So yeah. So you want to highlight that. So when driven by desire to please a woman based upon the motive of sex alone, a man may still cheat and even commit murder. This is really actually bad. But when the emotions of love is mixed with the emotion of sex, that same man will guide his actions with more sanity, balance, and reason. Balance, that's our word. Criminologists have discovered that the most hardened criminals can be reformed through the influence of woman's love. There is no record of a criminal having been reformed solely through the sex influence. These facts are well known, but their cause is not. Reformation comes, if at all, through the heart or the emotional side of man, not through his head or reasoning side. Reformation means a change of hearts. It does not mean a change of head. A man may, because of reason, make certain changes in his personal conduct to avoid the consequences of undesirable effects. But genuine reformation comes only through a change of heart, through a desire to change. Desire to change, that's the one that we want. So basically, it's always, do you have desire to change or do to not? That is just a reality, how it is. Let's see in here.